Hello everyone and welcome to my next video game collection video. Today I'll be doing my N64 collection. Start with 1080 snowboarding, decent little extreme sports game. Next, Banjo-Kazooie. Now I much prefer the original Banjo-Kazooie to the Xbox 360 one. It feels more like its own game and less like trying to go into Ratchet and Clank territory. Decent enough game back on N64. I've been meaning to get Banjo-Tooie, but I just haven't got around to it yet. Diddy Kong Racing. Not as good as Mario Kart, but it's pretty close, and I think it's got a decent single player mode. And also a decent multiplayer, of course. Donkey Kong 64. This is one of these 3D games where they changed the formula slightly from the 2D games, but I do think it works. I'm looking forward to try the new Donkey Kong Country Returns on Wii to see how that plays. ECW Hardcore Revolution. This one I bought pretty recently. I think I bought it around the time of ECW One Night Stand, because I didn't follow the original ECW back in the day, but more from its WWE revival. But pretty decent game. Some of the wrestlers had disappeared into the void. But there's guys like Balls Mahoney and I think Spike Dudley and some of us. The Dudley boys aren't there because they'd already gone to WWE when they came out. Oh, Rob Van Dam's on it, of course. So it's pretty much this came out as the company was sort of dying. So Extreme G Racing, pretty decent high-speed bike racing game, kind of similar to F-Zero and Wipeout, only it's on bikes instead of hoverships. F1 World Grand Prix, decent racing game if you like Formula 1. F-Zero X. I like the way they changed it from the rather flat courses that they had on the SNES version and made it into full loop-de-loops and ones where you go and corkscrews and all that. I'd say this was probably the best F-Zero game, with the GameCube one coming second. A game that every N64 owner should own, and that's GoldenEye 007. I love this game. I've played it many times. I've played single player, I've played multiplayer, I've played with cheats on, without cheats, with DK mode, paintball mode. I really love this game, and the fact that the the Wii version was sort of like it, but not quite like it. What I would love would be for this to be re-released on either the Virtual Console or on Xbox Live, or both, or whatever, with the control updates that they had for Perfect Dark, because the fact is, when you've been used to playing first-person shooting games with 2 analog sticks and you go back to playing this with 1 analog stick, it just doesn't feel right. And if they could redo it with 2 analog stick control, it would just be perfect. Another game everyone should own, The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I remember the first time I played this, I rented it, and I had a dodgy copy which ended up crashing when I got to Death Mountain. And I really wanted to get back on with the story, so pretty much I took it back and then went out and got my own copy and managed to complete it without the game just dying on me. Now, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This game I was so looking forward for, and I actually bought the expansion pack for it because I didn't have the K64 at the time, and I knew that you needed the expansion pack to play it. And I remember when I had the money to get it, I rang up my local game shop to make sure they'd got it in, and I just basically ran from the bus stop to the game shop to get it because I was so looking forward to playing it and making sure that they didn't, because they said they couldn't save it for me over the phone, so I had to rush just to make sure that I got it. But they did have one copy left and an expansion pack. Luckily, if they'd had the game but not the expansion pack, I'd just have to sit and look at the game until I got an expansion pack. But one of my favourite ones. Another favourite here, Lilac Wars. I got this with a Rumble Pack. The Rumble Pack unfortunately has stopped working since, but I used to know this game so well. I used to know all the little things you had to do to get from do the easy route or the middle route or the hard route. And I recently downloaded it on the Virtual Console and we're playing through it again. And I can't remember what the hell I have to do to unlock the other levels. I had to take the easy route and pretty much sucked at it. I'm really out of practice at this. I really want to get practicing ready for the 3DS version that should be coming out. I believe it's either a launch game or a summer release. I'm not sure when they're going to be releasing that. But another classic game, Mario Kart 64. Probably one of my least favourite of the Mario Kart games. I much prefer the ones from Double Dash onwards, simply because I think that they play a bit smoother also with your drifting. I don't think the drifting was quite right. Yeah, because it was more of a jump into a drift, whereas you got the proper drifting better in the later games. But it's good. Good nonetheless. It's hard to believe that this one was actually the second one when in the Game Boy Advance were the third, when the Game Boy Advance one, of course, were slightly inferior in graphical terms, but more like the SNES version. But good game nonetheless. Mortal Kombat 4, which this one was one that took me a while to get, due to the fact that I did get it on PC, and I had a really crappy PC, and it would only just run if I had everything else switched off, pretty much. And the fact that I had to play it by what keys were it? It was W, A, S, and Z as my movement keys, and I, O, P, K, L, and colon as my 6 fighting buttons, and it just didn't feel right playing it all like that. I'm more used to doing with a controller. So when I recently saw my game shop have this on shelf in their retro game section, I thought, right, I'm having that. And it's been a lot easier to play on the proper N64 version rather than the computer with keyboard. Pokemon Snap, basically shoot 'em up with a camera. One thing that I remember, I have completed this when it first came out, and I managed to get all the special photos of where you'd see like a silhouette of the Pokemon, and you took it and then it did appear in the constellations on last level. And when I was playing through it again on the Virtual Console, I couldn't remember where any of the secret Pokemon were, and even like I nearly missed getting Charizard on the volcano level, so I really need to get practicing that again. Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, given that I don't really play the first Pokemon game, well, the Game Boy era Pokemon games much anymore. I'm pretty much only playing the Game Boy Advance and DS versions. then I only really keep these around for mini games because I don't currently have a good team to put on them for the main battles, and there's no point playing the Game Boy Tower because, you know, I don't really play those ones anymore. Another favourite here, Star Wars Rogue Leader. No, sorry, Rogue Squadron. That's the GameCube one. Decent game where you can shoot womp rats in the back home, you know. Personally, I prefer the GameCube version. It's I think the controls are a bit tighter, and of course it's graphically superior as well, but not a bad game on N64 that. Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. Now this one is a game that I bought, you see, for like cheap, $3.99 on it, and I just haven't got around to playing it yet, so I can't really comment on it. It was one that I wanted to play ever since I got my N64, but I never got round to getting it, and then when I did get it I didn't get around to playing it, so that's on my to-do list. Super Mario 64, of course. I remember the first time I played this was ages before I got an N64 myself. I was playing it on my cousin's N64, and I absolutely loved it because just the only Mario game I played prior to that would be the original one on NES, and just to see original Super Mario Bros. And to see it just come on so much since then, both graphically and gameplay, it were amazing, and loved this game. Another favourite, Super Smash Bros. Now, I didn't play this one when it originally came out. This was more a recent addition to my collection. The first Smash Bros. Game I played was Super Smash Bros. Melee on the GameCube, and I absolutely played that game to death. So as soon as I saw this on the N64, I thought, right, I'm having that. I can see where everything really sort of started with the Smash Bros series, but given how much stuff is on Melee, and just to see it have that all stripped away when you're down to like 12 characters, and that, it does feel quite inferior by comparison. Another game I really like, Tetrasphere, which is basically a 3D Tetris game where instead of playing it in like Tetris in a box, you're playing it on a sphere, and instead of it being empty and then you to basically make lines disappear, you basically have a layer of blocks around the globe, and you have to land your blocks on top of identical blocks to make them disappear. And also you've got some like bonus weapons that can make chunks of the Tetrasphere disappear, and like the person who uncovers the most of the inner core of their sphere wins. So it's good for single player, good for multiplayer as well. Tony Hawk Skateboarding. I really like the Tony Hawk's games. I kind of wish I'd got this on PS1 instead, because the soundtrack for the game for the N64 version is rather limited due to the fact that it's on a cartridge rather than a CD. Now, these two are two of my favourite first-person shooter games. They are Turok Dinosaur Hunter and Turok Seeds of Evil. I really love these games because, you know, the fact that you're fighting dinosaurs is cool, and or aliens in case of this one. It's the fact that you've got some really crazy weapons. Like, I'll give you two examples. The nuke, which is basically a handheld nuclear bomb, and you basically fire it, and your opponents within the vicinity basically same effect. If you've seen Terminator 2, you know what I'm on about. It's that sort of just blow up into their skeletons and gone. And then there's the cerebral bar, which basically, like the chest burster from Alien, is basically implanted in their head, and it just basically eats their brain, which is pretty nasty, but quite enjoyable. And of course I've got WWF WrestleMania 2000 and WWF No Mercy. Pretty decent wrestling games from back in the day. Now, my main problem with No Mercy is the fact that I got one of those dodgy carts which decides to, and I never got to replace it, that decides to delete your save file whenever it bloody well likes. So I could spend hours making loads of created wrestlers and doing the story mode, getting on arenas unlocked and everything, and then next time I switch it on, gone, back to factory settings, which really pissed me off. I've got my best created wrestlers saved on a memory card, because you can copy them across a memory card, but pretty much it's not, if you want to save what you progress, then this isn't we're not going to have much chance of doing that. So it's a shame really, because it is a really good game, probably one of the best wrestling games ever made, but the fact that you lose, and the fact that you could edit not just created wrestlers, you could edit the existing wrestlers. So for example, Kane, when Kane unmasked and shaved his hair off, I basically removed mask, removed hair, removed upper body attire, and I've basically got the current Kane on No Mercy, whereas on games such as Here Comes the Pain, oh no, he's unmasked on Here Comes the Pain, on Shut Your Mouth and games before that, I'm stuck with the old masked Kane, and I don't get the choice of the current Kane. And also Undertaker, I managed to change him on this from his American Badass persona to his into his Big Evil persona, and then back into the Deadman. So you know, the fact, and also like when Kurt Angle was the GM of SmackDown, I put him in a suit. So you know, it was really good for updating things. But then again, of course, if your save file gets deleted, then that's it, gone. You know, so you know, and that's my N64 collection. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll have more collection videos coming soon. Thanks. Bye.